In the 2017-1 release, one of the new features that is being introduced is the ability to do full text search based on relevancy. One of the easiest ways to show this behavior is to show you how the system behaves currently. This is a pre-2017-1 system, and you'll notice that we have set our sort order to be based on incident, in this case getting smaller to larger, so oldest to newest. If I was to come in and type in a search term like printer smells, you'll notice that we get a set of results back, but they are still sorted in the order in which the grid was defined to present them. This means that something like printer smells like it's burning would appear lower than it might have relative to the other things just based on its age. So it's not necessarily the most relevant, but in fact the oldest to newest sort order based on the sort order of the grid. If we switch to a 2017-1 or newer tenant and do the same search, the results will look quite differently. Now we have disabled the default sort order. We're now ignoring that and have instead returned the sequence of records based on their relevancy. So the smells like it's burning is first. Printer near user's desk small like it is very hot is not as relevant. It doesn't have the word smell as it did here. In fact, you have to go inside and look down at the description level to come up with the word smell in it. So seemed less relevant than smells like. Printer smells, exact match up here. So those have sorted to the top. This is interesting because it is still got the two words in it. These are maybe a little less interesting because they may only have one of the words. So you'll typically get more results, but the results will be returned in relevant order. There are cases where this will be ignored. If I go back and say move my sort to highest to lowest, and I use a Boolean term in here. So if I say again printer, but this time I tell it with a Boolean condition, type in my search, you'll notice that we retained the sort order. So in this case it is not taking advantage of the relevancy, and that's just a limitation of the search engine itself. It is unable to calculate relevancy and Boolean terms in the same query. So if you use a Boolean such as and or, the results will remain in the order of the grid view itself. We will not attempt to calculate relevancy in that case. If you're not familiar with the Boolean terms in full text indexing, it does require them to be in uppercase. If you do them in lowercase, they will be ignored and treated as if they were part of the search query itself. So hopefully this helps. It makes it more intuitive for your end users to find their answers more quickly. In 2017-1, another related feature to the search relevancy is how object matching is now treated. If I was to come in here and put in a similar query, the printer smells like it is burning, you'll notice that the sequence here is much more relevant. So the printer smells is sorted to the top. Again, relevancy order is used now instead of the grid sequence that was defined for this particular area of the grid. So hopefully that will help. We are also no longer highlighting stop words. So the word it and the word is and the word the were not used at all during our searching criteria, so we're no longer highlighting those. We're now just highlighting the words that we did in fact use as part of our relevancy to find the right answer. So hopefully this will, again, just like the other one, make it more intuitive for your end users.